Now, what type of fasting were you doing? Because, there's all these different types. You got water fasting, juice fasting. Some people, do smoothies. Some people do the Daniel fast. I mean, what different fasts did you try? Which ones were the most effective? What are your thoughts about that?
I didn't try a whole bunch of fasts, full disclosure. I tried one because I felt like that would be the most beneficial. I did water only, distilled water only. Distilled water has sort of a magical property, if you will.
Are we allowed to say magic? I think we can say magic.
I think we can say magic.
We can't say cure, but we can say magic.
If we can say magic, then I'm using magic. So, the distilled water, it pulls out those inorganic compounds in your body. So you've got these toxins that sit in there. They sit in your fat stores. And that's why we get that stubborn fat that is hard to lose, seemingly hard to lose. And when you drink that water, it pulls that stuff out and helps to detoxify you. So I decided I'm not going to consume anything but water. And that's what I did. I mean, I didn't have, even at this time, I didn't have juice. I didn't have a peppermint. I didn't have...
No gum for your bad breath. Did you have bad breath?
I did have bad breath for a while, yes. As your tongue starts to, get rid of that stuff, it comes to the surface and it's, apparent. So I just did water. I did water only. And I know, can I talk about my symptoms or what I was feeling?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Let's get into it.
So when I started, the first day was good, because I still had glycogen stores. So, the first day was pretty easy for me. And as time went on, the second day got a little more difficult. By the third day, I want to say the second night, going into the third day, when I was sleeping, I was noticing that the hunger pangs were waking me up.
That's terrible.
I struggled a bit to sleep because I was hungry. I'm used to eating. I was hungry, and my stomach was waking me up. So, kind of a restless night in the third night. And then when I got up, I noticed that I was feeling lightheaded. You know how you're sitting down, you stand up too quickly, you're like, oh man, I got lightheaded.
Yeah.
But only I would stand up on a normal pace and I would still get lightheaded. So that was it was interesting. But of course, but it was a good sign to me because I knew things were happening. Right. I wasn't just feeling perfectly well throughout the whole time. I knew that something in my body was happening.
Okay.
So I persevered. I kept going. I was still going to class and still doing some work, and I decided that I was going to still do things. The fourth day, it started to get a little easier. I wasn't feeling like I was, dying of hunger or anything, or my energy was lower, but as long as I rested, I felt okay. And as time went on, I made it through my week, and it was, again, I was getting on that scale and I was seeing every day. It started to get to a point where it was every day I was losing about 2 pounds. And the 2 pounds a day thing, it's crazy because I would be happy if I would lose 2 pounds in a week.
Yeah. 2 pounds a week is amazing.
Yeah. So being somebody who was massively overweight with diabetes, I knew that I couldn't stop. I had to keep going because of how effective this was.
Right.
And then, so because of that, because of how I was feeling, I decided to create this schedule.
Okay.
I call it 5 on, 2 off.
5 on, 2 off. What exactly is that?
So what that means is I will fast for 5 days, water only. So Monday through Friday I would fast. Saturday morning would come around and I would break my fast.
Ooh, we eating. We eating. Saturday morning.
Eating good. I would get an apple to start off, something light and juicy. Maybe have 2 apples, just start off really light. Then I would eat foods that were generally lighter and easily digestible throughout the weekend. Okay. And that would help me to maintain, I don't like seeing the numbers go back up on the scale.
It's gonna go up on the weekends. Trust me.
Yeah. If you eat, it's gonna go up.
What are some of the ranges that you noticed as far as your weight gain?
Okay, well, if I would eat something that wasn't so great,
Just keeping it real with y'all.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Just keeping it real with
if I had something that wasn't good, it would be in one meal. It might be 3 pounds.
Wow.
And that's just one meal. So you gotta think, if you eat 3 times a day after you break a fast, depending on how heavy the food is, you could gain 8 pounds in that day.
Okay.
Now you're not gaining it. You're not putting it on as fat on your body. It's just sitting in your stomach. So it's kind of a mental thing too.
Okay.
So you have to be careful with that. But it helps if you have foods that are like I said, fruits and easily digestible veggies. Things like that. Good alkaline foods are really good to have, because you pass them quickly. They don't sit in there. There's not a huge detriment on your body. So it was good for me, because I noticed the change from eating good stuff and the change from eating bad stuff. And I know it's much easier on you mentally to eat good stuff, because you won't regress.
Okay. So we're losing weight. We're looking at 15 pounds in our first week. We did a 6-day fast.
Yeah.
All right. We're eating on the week. So he was so, what's the word? Enthralled by his results that he decided to continue doing the fasting 5 on, 2 off. On the weekends, he tried to kind of slowly reintroduce food back to his system, because, food can have an adverse effect. I know that I definitely did have an adverse effect when I ate too much. So you want to slowly kind of get back into the juicy fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And then you continue doing that. So how long was it before your symptoms started going away? Because we know weight is a symptom, but you did have other symptoms. When did you start seeing those go away?
Well, so 2 months in, I've been doing my 5 on, 2 off. And in 2 months, I lost 50 pounds, which, wow, blew me away.
50 pounds in 2 months.
2 months. And honestly, it could have been even faster than that. The reason I didn't do it any faster was because I went on vacation. My girlfriend and I, and her brother, and her cousin. It was a little family vacation. We went to the Dominican Republic, and for I can't remember, a week. And I had fun. I was eating food there. I held on because I didn't want to eat because I've been doing so good. But I ended up eating regular meals there and everything. So it set me back a little bit.
Okay.
So things like that. It set me back. But if I had stayed on it, if I didn't go on vacation, I'm sure I could have done that in a month. Just 1 month, or a month and a half, or whatever. It would have been much quicker. So 2 months, I lost 50 pounds. During that time, I noticed, I can't remember exactly when, I want to say probably no later than a month, I started noticing, really less than that. But let's just to be, because I don't have an exact amount of time, let's just say in a month or 2 months, I start to see that my symptoms were going away. Some of the issues I was having, I'll say some of the man issues I was having. So yeah, I was having some issues, and they were no longer present. I was sleeping better. And that's a big one for me, because I actually get disability for sleep, for my lack thereof. And I was sleeping better. So that was huge for me. I'm still a very light sleeper, still very sensitive. But if the stars align just right, then I can get a really good night's rest.
Catching Z's.
So for me, that was huge. And again, that did not take long. So I decided after I lost that 50 pounds that it was time for me to start going to the gym.
Okay.
Oh, let me mention, I didn't go to the gym at all during this time, during the 2 months. Not
so
once.
You're losing on average 2 pounds a day, and you're not doing any exercise, no cardio, no nothing.
Nothing, not a thing. There was no reason to. That stuff, cardio to lose weight, it's ineffective. It doesn't work. Fasting works.
Oh, blasphemy.
Oh.
Calories in, calories out. What are you talking about? Blasphemy.
Well, Well, my eating habits before, if it takes 3,000 or 3,500 calories to, if that's a pound worth.
I think a pound is 2,500, 2,400, or is it 35?
I heard it was 35. So which one is
Okay,
it?
maybe it's 35. I don't know. Maybe it is 3,500. Maybe we don't. Maybe it's not an exact science.
Oh, well.
That's no good.
I'm gonna eat them. Go ahead and get that. So I wasn't eating even when I had a normal diet before of stuff that wasn't so good, but still a normal diet. I still wasn't eating anywhere close to 3,500 calories a day. So just because of my natural habits, I should have been slowly losing weight, but I wasn't. I was maintaining at 271 pounds, and
Well, you had slowly progressed to that point because you weren't always 271. So for those of you out there that you're bigger, or you're overweight, and you're like, man, I don't eat that much. And your friends and family, they look at you and they laugh and they joke and they say, yeah, right, No, we're with you. We get it. Like, you might not actually be eating that much, but we've been taught calories in, calories out. So maybe there's something wrong with the way that we've been taught how to lose weight.
Oh, you're gonna step on some toes now.
I don't care about toes, baby. I ain't worried about no toes.
Clearly.